Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We got some 1961 Milwaukee Braves baseball. We got the Chicago Cubs on August 12th taking on the Milwaukee Braves in Milwaukee. And the starting lineup for the visiting Cubs is leading off playing center field is Al Heist. Batting second, playing second is Don Zimmer. Batting third, playing third is Ron Santo. Batting fourth, playing right field is George Altman. Batting fifth, playing left field is Billy Williams. Batting sixth, playing first base is Andre Rogers. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is Jerry Kendall. Batting eighth and doing the catching is Dick Bertel. And batting ninth and doing the pitching for the Cubbies is Cardwell. And now let's take a look at the Milwaukee Braves. Starting lineup for today's game. Leading off playing right field is Lee May. Batting second, playing second is Frank Bolin. Batting third, playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth and playing center field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth and playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth and playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting seventh and going to catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting ninth on the mound for the Milwaukee Braves is Bob Henley. Let's get down here to Milwaukee County Stadium and get this game underway, folks. And you got Bob Henley on the mound. He's got a 2.54 ERA. He's 4-1. He started 8 games and has got 1 complete game. And here's the pitch to Al Heist, batting 227 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a well-hit ball. He squares this one up, folks. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is gone. And Al leads this game off with a home run, and just like that, the Cubs are up 1-0, folks. That brings up Don Zimmer. Don Zimmer only hitting .213 on the year, folks, with 6 home runs and 27 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Hank Aaron's out in the center field today, folks. He makes a nice run and catch. And Bob Henley's not fooling nobody here yet today, folks. 2 well-hit balls. One's gone and one Aaron made a nice catch. Ron Santo's up now, hitting .273, 17 home runs, 63 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to McMillan. Max up with it. He fires over the first for out number 2. Hey, Tim D. And that brings up George Altman. And George hitting .331 on the year with 17 home runs and 71 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Frank Bolin. So Bob settles down after the leadoff homer, but the Cubbies score 1 on the home run by Al Heist. We go to the bottom of the first. We got Lee May, followed by Frank Bolin and then Eddie Matthews. See if the Braves can get that run right back, folks. Lee May's hitting .241 on the year, 12 home runs and 27 RBIs. Sorry about that, folks. Thought I was going to sneeze. All righty, here's the pitch to Lee May. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Zimmer's up with it. He's going to fire over to Rogers for out number 1. And that brings up Frank Bolin. So here comes Frank now. And Frank's batting .293 on the year with 15 home runs, 72 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Heist in center field. 2 up and 2 down here for the Braves. That brings up Mr. Eddie Matthews hitting .289, 20 home runs and 77 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Matthews walks on down to first. That brings up the hammer, Henry Hank Aaron. See if Hank can do something here. Batting .302 on the year, folks. 21 home runs and 78 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Well, no, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Hank out. He's got the Y factor. So the Braves leave Matthews down at first and still trail this game 1-0. We got Williams, Rogers, and Kendall due up here for the Cubbies. And Billy's batting .263, 20 home runs, 56 RBIs. And that's a ground ball down the Mac at short. Easy play for out number 1. Let's see what Mr. Rogers can do in the neighborhood. And he's batting .270 on the year, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one off of Bob, folks. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field. May gets over, throws the ball in, but not until Rogers is down at second with a double. Brings up Kendall now with 1 out and a runner at second. Kendall's only hitting .208 on the year, folks, with 6 home runs and 27 RBIs. Let's see what Bob can do. Can he get out of this little bit of a mess here? Well, he walks Kendall. I don't know if he wanted to set up the double play or not. Let's see if that's what he can get here with the catcher, Bert, up. First and second, 1 out. Bert's hitting .261, 1 home run, 23 RBIs on the year. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left. Frank Thomas is out there today for the Braves for out number 2. And that brings up Ron Cardwell. He's only hitting .078 on the year, but he does have a home run, folks, and 3 RBIs, so you got to be careful with him. And they are, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Cubbies leave 2. We go to the bottom of the second. Cubs 1, Braves nothing. We got Adcock, Thomas, and Torrey due up. Joe's hitting .272 on the year, 23 home runs, 73 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Ron Santos up with it, fires across the diamond for 1 out. Here comes Frank Thomas, not having a very good year as average-wise. His power's not bad. Only hitting .246 with 17 home runs and 52 RBIs. Be nice to see him get hot. And that's not going to happen because that's popped up to shoot. And Dick Bartell is going to make the catch behind home plate, and that'll be 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Joe Torre now. And Joe, he's not having a great year either with the batting average. With a .240 batting average, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs on the year. And that's a ground ball down the short. And that'll end the inning, folks. The Braves go down in order, 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the third. We got the top of the order due up, Heist, Zimmer, and Santo. And Al homered his first time up for the only run of the game so far, folks. Here's the pitch to Al. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Bob doesn't want to fool with him, but the leadoff runner being aboard with a walk ain't what you want to see either. Can they get a ground ball by Zimmer in turn 2 here? He flew out the Aaron his first time up. And not this time, folks. That's going to be a single in the right field. And Al Heist, he's going to turn on the Jets. He's going to end up at third, folks. So we got first and third. Nobody out. Braves are going to play back, look for the double play, give up the run. They don't want a big inning here. Nobody out. Ron Santo did ground out the short his first time up. Not this time, folks. Bob Henley's not having a great day. Ron Santo squares this one up. And that ball is lifted into left field. That'll score a Heist. Zimmer will stop at second. Still nobody out, and it's first and second, folks. And the Cubs now leading 2-0. George Altman's up now. George is 0 for 1. Grounded out to Frank Bolin his first time up. And can the, the Braves turn 2 here. That ball is hit down the short. McMillan's up with it, but it's a slow roller. The only play is going to be the second. Frank Boland won't even throw over the first. So it's first and third now. Finally, one out. And you got Altman and Williams up. I don't think you're going to turn 2 with these guys. So the Braves are going to play the infield in here, try to cut this run off. Billy's 0 for 1, grounded out the short. And that's going to be back to the mound. And they're going to look to run her back to third. But Altman's going to make it down the second, folks. The play's over at first. So you got second and third now with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Mr. Andy Rogers. Rogers hit a double his first time up, folks. You got Zimmer down at third, Altman down at second with Rogers at the plate. And that's going to be a big swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Braves get lucky and get out of this inning with only 1 run scoring. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Cubbies. Got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Braves. McMillan, Henley, and then back to Lee May at the top of the order. Max only hitting .206 on the year, folks. 5 home runs, 33 RBIs. And he starts off with a base hit in the left field now. Nice piece of hitting by Mac. And that brings up Henley. And Bob's going to try to lay down a bunt here and get him in scoring position for the top of the order. Nobody out. He's only hitting .059 on the year. He's 1 for 17. And that's going to be a poorly bunted ball down the third. Santos up with it. He's going to fire down the second with who covering? Kendall covering at second. And that'll get the lead runner, folks. So Henley doesn't get the job done. So now you got Henley down at first with 1 out for Lee May. May grounded out to Zimmer his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Santos up with it. It's a slow roller. He'll fire across the diamond to get Lee May. So Henley's down at second now with 2 outs for Frank Boland. Can Frank Boland cut this lead in half with a 2-out base hit, folks? He's flied out to center. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a, hold on a second. Yeah, that's going to be a swing and a miss. So the Cubbies leave Henley, the Braves rather, leave Henley stranded at second. We go to the fourth. We got Kendall, Bertel, and Cardwell due up. Jerry walked his first time up. And that's going to be well hit. Oh, Jerry gets a hold of this one, folks. And that's going to be a double over first base. He'll stop at second, folks. And the lead runner's in scoring position just like that. Bob Henley's not fooling nobody today, folks. That brings up Bert. And he's 0 for 1, flew out the left. And not this time, folks. That's going to be a single over second. And Kendall's going to score, and it's a 3-0 ball game. And still nobody out here in the fourth. That'll bring up Don. He's going to try to bunt Bert over to second. Struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch to Don. And that's going to be a pass ball, I believe. Yes, it is. It's a pass ball. Nothing going the Braves' way right now, folks. So now you got a runner in scoring position. They're still going to try to bunt him down the third here. 1-0 pitch to Don. And that's going to be a foul ball. That'll be a 1-1 pitch now coming to him. And now it's 1-2, another foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he lays down a nice bunt, folks. That ball's hit back to the pitcher, I believe. Yes, it is. And Bob's only play is going to be over the first with Frank covering. And the runner will end up down at third with 1 out. Braves will have to bring the infield in, folks. We're back to the top of the order with Al Heist up. He's 1 for 1. He's homered and walked. Here's the pitch from Bob Henley. And a big strikeout there, folks. Swing and a miss. 2 outs now. The Braves can play back with Don Zimmer up. He singled his last time up. And that's not what the Braves want to see. That ball was hit down to Mr. Eddie Matthews. He doesn't field that ball cleanly at all, folks, but he doesn't compound it by throwing it away. But that'll score another run, and it's 4-0 Cubbies. Now you got Zimmer down at first with 2 outs for Ron Santo. Braves can't buy a break in this one. Ron Santo's 1 for 2 with an RBI single his last time up. And that's going to be hit down the second. And Frank Boland's going to go to short way over to second with McMillan covering. That'll end the inning. But the Cubbies scored 2 more and take a 4-0 lead, folks. So we go to the 4th. We got the big boys due up. We got Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock. Eddie walked his first time up. Let's see what he does this time, folks. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Nice piece of hitting by Eddie. He's rounding second. Altman gets to it, cuts it off. Eddie doesn't want to get thrown out at second with Hank Aaron up here. Possibly cut this lead in half. Hank struck out his first time up. And that's going to be another swing and a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Hank Aaron. Don's got his number so far today. So here comes Joe Adcock, who grounded out the third his first time up. See if Joe can get something going with Matthews down at first. And yes, he can. That's a single in the center field. And Eddie's going to stop at second. So we got first and second now with only 1 out for Frank Thomas. Be nice to see him get hot here, folks. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to the catcher's first time up. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is back. 3-run homer to right field by Frank Thomas. And the Braves cut this lead to 4-3, folks. Nice job by Frank. Good to see him get hot. That brings up Joe Torre now. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to short. 1 out, nobody on now. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Don bounces back from that home run to strike Torres out. Yeah, nice is right, Tim. Like I say, it would be nice to see Frank Thomas get hot. Here's McMillan. He singled his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And Zimmer's up with it. He fires over the Rogers at first, and that'll end the inning, but not until the Braves score 3 on a Frank Thomas home run. And cut this lead to 1, folks, as we go to the top of the 5th. Altman, Williams, and Rogers. Let's see if Henley can shut them down here after scoring 3. George is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and reached on a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. Matthews makes the play this time, folks. No error this time from Eddie. That'll be 1 out. Here comes Altman. He's grounded out the short and the first end of the pitcher. And he's going to give his try down the second. Frank Boland's going to answer that with an easy play to first. 2 up and 2 down. Here comes Mr. Andy Rogers. Andy's 1 for 2 with a double. Struck out his last time, though. And that's what he's going to know. He's just going to pop this one up. No strikeout. Henley doesn't have the Y factor. And McMillan takes charge of it. Makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 goes to Cubbies. So Henley shuts them down after scoring 3. Gives the Braves a chance to tie this game up. He'll lead off, Henley will, and then followed by May and Boland. Bob reached on a fielder's choice when he couldn't get a good bunt down. And that's going to be grounded down the third. Santo fires across the diamond and gets Henley easy. 1 out. Here comes Lee May. And May's 0 for 2, grounded out the second and the third. And not this time, folks. That's going to be a base hit in the center field. Lee May gets aboard here with 1 out. Let's see what happens here now. Frank bowling up now. See if Frank can do something. He's 0 for 2, flown out and struck out. And that's going to be popped up in the foul territory, back behind the plate near the netting, and that'll be out number 2. It's up to Mr. Matthews here. See if he can tie this game up with Lee down at first. Eddie's 1 for 1 with a single and walked. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Lee May's going to truck on down the third. So we got first and third now with 2 outs. That brings up Hank Aaron now. And on the 2-0 count, Matthews is off and running. That surprises me a little bit. You don't want to get thrown out with Aaron up there. He better make sure he makes it down there. Here comes the throw from Dick. It's a strike, and Matthews makes it. So it's a 2-1 count on Hank Aaron. And Hank struck out twice. Let's see what he does with this 2-0 count now with runners on second and third. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Easy play for Don over the first. And the Braves strand 2 on second and third. Still trail this game by 1. Hank's not having a very great game, that's for sure. All right, here comes Kendall. Bertel and Cardwell do up. Jerry with the double and scored his last time up. And he walked his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Henley. Here comes Burt. And Burt is 1 for 2 with an RBI and scored. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. McMillan's up with it for out number 2. Here comes Don Cardwell. He is 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. And he struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. And Joe Adcock lets that get through the wickets, folks. That's an E3. Don's on there with an error. Don't want to give the Cubbies an extra out here. Especially this man. Even though he did strike out his last time up, he's 1 for 2. Walked and homered. And that's going to be another base on balls. And all of a sudden now with 2 outs, Bob Henley's got himself in a little bit of a mess. No thanks to Joe Adcock down at first either. So first and second now for Don Zimmer. He's flown out, singled, and reached on an error himself. So here's the pitch to Don. Can Bob get out of this mess, folks? And yes, he can. That ball is hit down to second. And Frank will go over to second, toss it to McMillan, and that'll end that inning. And the Cubs leave 2-1, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Cubbies still hanging on to a 1-run lead. It's 4-3. You got Adcock, Thomas, and Torrey due up. Joe's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up and scored. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. George is out there for the Cubbies, and Altman makes the catch. Out number 1. Here's the man so far, Mr. Frank Thomas, 1 for 2 with a 3-run homer. See if that's got him off the snide and ready to hit now, folks. And that's going to be a base on balls. They're not giving him a chance to get hot. So Frank trots on down the first with 1 out for Joe Torrey. Maybe he can take a lesson from Frank and get off the snide here. Now Joe's hitting under 240 on the year. And he does, folks. He drives that ball in the center field. And that'll be a base hit. Frank, with his speed's not going nowhere. He'll stop at second. So it's first and second for Roy McMillan. Let's see what Mac can do here with 1 out. He's 1 for 2. He singled his first time up and grounded out the second. They'd love to see a base hit. I don't know if it would score Frank from second. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 2 down now. And do we let Bob keep pitching? That is the question. Or do we pitch hit for him? That is the question. You got Jones and Boyd and Spangler on the bench. I think it's only the 6th inning. You let him swing away here. He's settled down since that 4th inning. Here's the pitch to Bob. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Santo. He's going to go the long way to first. And that'll end the inning. And again, the Braves leave 2. And we go to the top of the 7th. The Braves still trailing by 1. You got Santo, Altman, and Williams due up here for the Cubs. Ron's 1 for 3 with an RBI today. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Maybe we should have pitched hit for Bob. So you got the leadoff runner on with nobody out. See if they can get a ground ball by George here and get a double play. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out to second, reached on a fielder's choice and popped up. And that's not what the Braves want to see. That's going to be a single in the right field. Santo's going to make it down the third. And all of a sudden, the Cubbies are threatening here, folks. And Billy Williams is up now. And on the 0-1 pitch, Altman's taking off, folks. He's trying to steal. Here's the throw from Joe Torres. And Altman's going to be in there safe. So that's second and third now. The Braves bringing the infield in. Let's see here. Do the Braves want to go to a lefty out of the bullpen? Got 2 righties due up after Williams. I think you let Bob pitch to him. Here's the pitch to Bob for Billy. He's grounded out 3 times. The first to second, the pitcher, and the short. And that's going to be down the second with the infield in. And Frank Bowen's coming home with it, folks. And here's the throw to home, and they got Ron Santos out. So now it's going to be first and third, and only 1 out. You got Rogers and Williams. I still think you keep the infield in. Rogers is 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout and a pop-up. So we got first and third now, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Andy. And that's going to be a base on balls. And the bases are juiced now, folks. And I think that's going to be it for Kendall. Got 3 righties due up here. Let's see who the Braves are going to go to. Notebert or I think that's who they're going to go with. Don Notebert. No, maybe not. Maybe not. They're going to go with Tony. Yeah, they're going to go with Tony. Tony's going to come in here and try to get out of this mess, folks. Collinger's coming in. There's 1 out. Bases are juiced. Jerry Kendall's up at the plate. Do they play the infield back, try to get 2? I say you keep the infield in. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. Here's the pitch to Kendall. And that's going to be hit down the third with the infield in. And sure enough, Matthews fires home, folks, and they get the lead runner. So now there's 2 outs and still nobody scored. Can the Braves get out of this mess with nobody scoring? Dick Bartell's due up. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI. The Braves will be able to play back now. Here's the pitch to Bartell. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Nice job by Tony. Gets the Braves out of this mess. We go to the 7th inning stretch. And the top of the order is due up here for the Braves. Down by 1, it's 4-3. You got May, Bolin, and Matthews. Lee's 1 for 3. Singled his last time up, folks. And not this time. That's going to be hit back to the mound. And Don's got it. Tosses it over to first for out number 1. See if Frank Bolin can get on here for the big boys. Bring the tying run up to the plate. He's 0 for 3. And he's going to be 0 for 4. That's a fly ball out to center field. Heist has got it. Hey, ID. Doing well, friend. How are you? I've seen the unboxing. Got some nice seasons there for 1994, I think, and 2001. Oh, you're at work, are you? Cool. All righty. So now there's 2 out, and Eddie Matthews is up. He's having a heck of a game, folks. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base, and he scored. Let's see if he can keep it up. And he sure does. He blasts that ball down the right field line, folks. And he's a brown-eyed, handsome man going for second, and he's in there with a double. Now it's up to the Hammer. See what the Hammer can do here. Can he finally come through? Runner in scoring position. Payoff pitch. Yep, I thought it was 2001 and 1994. Yep. All righty. Let's see if the Hammer can get something going here, folks. He is 0 for 3. Struck out twice and grounded out to the pitcher. He is due, folks. And that's a deep fly ball, but Heist has room out there. And that'll end the inning. And the Hammer goes back shaking his head. We go to the top of the 8th. It's still a 4-3 ball game, folks. Let's see what kind of bullpen the Cubbies has got. And I think they're going to pitch hit here for Don. He's pitched a decent game. Try to get some insurance runs here. See who's going to come out here and pitch hit off the bench. And I think it's going to be Richie Ashburn. Yep, Richie Ashburn's going to come out here and pitch hit for the Cubbies. And there's Richie. And Richie's batting .336 on the year, folks. 1 home run, 15 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one. He's going to drive that ball into left field for a leadoff single. Now, what you want to see here in the 8th, the Braves need to keep this a 1-run game. So the leadoff runner's aboard. Here's Al Heist, who's having a heck of a game, folks. He's already homered once today. He's walked twice and scored twice. Here's the pitch to Al. And that's going to be a base on balls. All of a sudden, Tony can't get anything going. First and second now with nobody out. Don Zimmer's up. Can the Braves turn 2 here, folks? Don's 1 for 4. Flown out, singled, reached on an error, and reached on a fielder's choice. And that's just what the Braves are looking for, folks. Let's see if they can turn 2. That's a ground ball down the short. McMillan's up with it. He fires over the Frank Bolin. Frank fires over the first, but Zimmer's going to beat the throw, folks. So it's first and third. And 1 out. Ron Santos up. Braves are going to try to turn 2 here, I guess, with Zimmer and Santo. And they're not very fast. Santos 2 for 4 with an RBI. Here's the pitch to him. And that's going to be a big swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job by Tony. So now there's 2 outs. Still runners on first and third, though, for George Altman. And George is 1 for 3 with a stolen base today, folks. And back-to-back strikeouts. Nice piece of pitching by Tony. Gets himself out of that mess. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cubbies still hanging on to a 1-run lead. And they're going to go with George Schultz. He's going to come out of the bullpen here and pitch. Try to get a 2-inning save. He'll be facing Adcock, Thomas, and Torrey here in the 8th. See if the Braves can tie this game up. Joe's 1 for 3. He scored. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Billy Williams is out there, makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Frank Thomas having a nice day today. He is 1 for 2 with a walk and a 3-run homer. And they walk him again. They're scared of old Frank. They think he's heating up. So Frank's standing down at first. Let's see if Joe Torrey can heat up. Not just heat up, but gets smoking hot here. He's 1 for 3. He did single his last time up, folks. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. George has got that. That'll be out number 2. It's up to McMillan here. Keep this 8th inning going. Mack's 1 for 3. He singled, grounded out, and struck out. And that's nice. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Kendall throws that ball away, folks. And that's going to be a 2-base error as Adcock's going to make it down the 3rd. So we got first and third now. 2 outs. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Notebert. See who's going to come out here and pitch hit. We got Frank Thomas down at third, McMillan at first. Tony's up the bat, rather. And let's see who's going to pitch hit against Schultz here. Who we got on there? I think it's going to be Mac the Knife Jones is going to come out and pitch hit. Let's see if Mac can do something here. Bring on the lefty against Schultz. Or do we bring in Al Spangler? It's been a while since Spangler's pitched hit. Do we go with Spangler? I think that's who we're going to go with. We're going to go with Spangler. Al Spangler's going to come off the bench, folks. Try to tie this game up at least. Yeah, tough game's right, Tim. So here comes Spangler. He's batting .333 on the year, folks. Here's the pitch to Al. And that's going to be a base on balls. The bases are juice, folks. How about that? We go to the top of the order. Lee May's up. So nowhere to put this one. See if May can do something. 1 for 3. We need a big base hit and can give the Braves the lead here, folks. Here's the pitch to Lee May. And that is going to be a fly ball in the right field. George Altman in the gap. Makes a diving catch. Robs Lee May of a base hit, folks. And the Braves lead the bases juiced. Nice play by Altman out there, though. Sure. I think I put the wrong thing there. I think I made that center field. I'm not sure. Alrighty, now we need another pitcher here for the Braves. You got the lefty coming up, righty. So Tony out of the game. We're going to bring in Johnny. Here's Johnny. Johnny Antonelli's going to come in here to pitch, folks. Try to keep this a one-run game. Got Billy Williams up here now. Like I say, followed by Rogers and Kendall. Billy's 0 for 4. See what Tony can do here. That's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Frank Thomas is back here, makes the catch. All important out number 1. Brings up Rogers. Rogers 1 for 3 with a walk, folks. And that's not what the Braves wanted. That's a ground ball down the second, I believe. Yes, it is. And Frank Bowen doesn't have a clean play here. That's an E4. So the Braves with their 3rd error of the game, folks. Runner on first now for Jerry Kendall. He's 1 for 3 with a double and scored. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Aaron comes in, can't make the play. Takes it on a hop, and it's 1st and 2nd now. Braves desperately looking for the double play again here. You got the catcher up here, Dick Bertel. He's 1 for 4. See if they can get the ground ball double play, folks. And that's going to be hit back to the mound. And Johnny's going to spin around, fire that ball down the Mac at second. He fires over to Adcock, and that's a 1-6-3 double play. Nice play by Tony. Gives the Braves a shot here in the 9th. They're down by 1. You got the big boys due up here. You got Frank Bowen followed by Matthews and Aaron. And here we go, folks. Frank's 0 for 4. He's flown out the center twice, popped up the catcher and struck out. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field off of Schultze. And just like that, the lead runner's aboard for the big boys. Can they come through? All would be forgiven. Eddie Matthews 3 for 3 with a walk, folks, a double, stolen base, and he scored. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Heiss makes the catch, and that is out number 1. Can Aaron come through here, folks? All would be forgiven for his 0 for 4 game if he can do something here. Here's the pitch to the hammer. And he says it's hammer time. He squares it up, folks. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. Frank Bowen's going to come around and score and tie this game up, folks. Just like that. Everybody's cheering the hammer. They forgot about the 0 for 4 day. Now Hank's standing down at second waiting for Joe Adcock to drive him in. It looks like this is going to be Schultz's game to win or lose here. Well, you can't win now. Either lose or keep this game going. Joe Adcock 1 for 4. Here's the pitch to Schultze. He's due to lead off the top of the 10th. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. No, a pop-up down the short. That'll be out number 2. Kendall makes the play. So it's all up to Frank Thomas. Frank's having a heck of a game here, folks. 1 for 2, 2 walks and a homer. Are they going to walk him? The pitch to Joe Torre. His run means nothing. I think that's what they're going to do. They've been pitching around him all day. They're going to walk Frank Thomas, not deal with him. And that'll set up a force at every base, make it a little easier. And you got Joe Torre up, who's 1 for 4. Let's see what Joe can be the hero now. And no, he can't. That ball is hit down the second. No, down the short. Kendall's up with it. He'll fire over the second for the out. But Aaron's double ties this game up, folks. We're going to extras. Read all about it. Extra innings here today, folks. Last time we had extra innings, we had 21 innings. I sure hope that don't happen. And that'll be it for Schultz. They'll have a pitch hitter for him. See who's going to come off the bench here. I think Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks, is going to come out here and pitch hit and try to get on. Where's Mr. Banks at? There's Ernie. Ernie coming off the bench here. Ernie's batting .233 on the year, 14 home runs, 61 RBIs. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. And Frank Thomas makes the catch out there for out number 1. We're back to the top of the order, and Mr. Al Heist. Allison, like I say, 1 for 2, 3 walks and a homer and an RBI, and scored twice, folks. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Al Heist is aboard now with 1 out. Here comes Don Zimmer. The Braves have been praying for double plays, and they've been answered. See if they can get one again. He's 1 for 5. He's flown out, singled, reached on an error, reached on 2 fielders' choices. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Frank Thomas again. 2 fly balls to left, 2 outs. It's Ron Santos up now, folks, with a runner in first. This game's tied up 4 apiece. He's 2 for 5 with an RBI. And that's a big swing and a miss, strike 3. And that ends the top of the 10th. We go to the bottom of the 10th. We got McMillan, a pitch hitter for Tony. Then back to the top of the order. Who's going to come out here and pitch, folks? You got a righty, a pitch hitter, and a lefty. And I think it's going to be Glenn Hobby's going to come out here to pitch. As long as he hasn't pitched lately and isn't tired. And that's who's going to come out here to pitch. Glenn's coming out. Going to be facing the bottom part of the order here and the bottom of the 10th. See if the bottom part of the order can get on here, folks. Max 1 for 4. He's reached on an error and struck out and grounded out. Here's the pitch to Mac. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. That'll be out number 1. He's going to come out here and pitch hit. Tony. Let's see here. I think you got to go with Mac the knife now. Against the righty. Yep, Jones is going to come out here and pitch hit. See if Jones can get on base here, folks. Got Jones on the jukebox. Okay, Max hitting .273 on the year, folks. No home runs, 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit into left field. Nice piece of hitting by Mac. Gets that runner aboard here. The winning runs aboard. Base hit in the left. That brings up Lee May. Question is, do you bunt or not? Here's the first pitch to Lee May. And Mac, the knife, is off and running. Here's the throw from Dick Bartell. It's a strike to Lee May. Is it going to be a strike down the second? Jones is in there safely. So with 1 out now, a runner in scoring position. May with an 0-1 count. A single is going to score Jones. Here's the pitch to Lee May. He's 1 for 5. And that's going to be a base on balls. His run doesn't mean nothing. I guess they're looking for the double play. But you're messing with Frank Bolin now. Frank's 1 for 5. He scored. He singled his last time up, folks. Can he do her again? First and second. 1 out. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that is going to be a fly ball in the right field. That's going to be deep enough to get Jones over to third. So a wild pitch now will score a run. Puts a little bit of pressure on Glenn. And here's Eddie Matthews, and here's the question. I know Hank delivered the last time, but Eddie's 3 for 4, folks. 3 for 4. I say you walk Matthews and you make the Hammer win this ball game. So they put Eddie Matthews on. I know it's crazy, but he's 3 for 4, folks. Hank's only 1 for 5, and now you got to force at any base. So here's the pitch to the Hammer. He could really be the hero. He tied this game up in the 9th. Can he win it in the 10th? And that is going to be a fly ball in the left field. Billy Williams makes a running catch and robs Hank Aaron of a game-winning single, folks. Nice play by Billy. And we're going to the 11th inning. Sure. And Don Noteberg's going to come in the game here to pitch. And do we keep? Guess we could keep Jones in the lineup. That's what we'll do. It'll save one batting position. Jones will stay in the lineup. Noteberg will come in and lead off, and in the leadoff spot. So that's what we'll do here. Don will come in. He'll bat in the 1 hole. Mac's going to come in the game and play center field. And Hank will move over to right. All righty, here we go, folks. The top of the 11th. Altman, Williams, and Rogers is due up. Here's the pitch to George. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Aaron just moved over there. It's funny how the ball finds you. That's 1 out. Here's Billy Williams now. Billy's 0 for 5. Can they keep him over? And yes, they can. That's a ground ball down to McMillan. He's up with it. He fires over the first 2 quick outs here in the 11th. It's up to Mr. Andy Rogers to keep this game going for the Cubbies, or this inning anyway. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Mac throws that ball into the crowd, folks. That's going to be a 2-base error. And Rogers is going to end up down at second, folks. Is that going to be what ends this game? An error? Here comes Kendall. He's having a good game. He's 2 for 4. He's doubled and scored and walked. And we don't want Rogers at third. We want Rogers at second. Let's get him at second here on a 2-base error. All righty, now we got it. 2-base error. Rogers down at second for Kendall. Here's the pitch to Jerry. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Cubbies leave the guy on at second. We go to the bottom of the 11th, folks. This game's still tied up at 4 apiece. You got Adcock, Thomas, and Torrey. Can they end this game here? Joe is 1 for 5. Let's see what he does, folks. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the right field, but George Altman's out there, makes the catch short of the warning track. 1 out. And here's the man they haven't been pitching to since that home run. He's 1 for 2. 3 walks, a home run, and 3 RBIs. The pitch to Frank. And that's a ground ball down to Ron Santo. He fires over the first. That's 2 outs. That brings up Mr. Joe Torre. He's 1 for 5 today. Can Joe end this game with one swing of the bat, folks? As we drop the dice. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field, but George is up to the task. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. And we go to the top of the 12th. We got Bertel, Hobby, be pitched it for, and then Heist. Here's the pitch to Dick. He's 1 for 5 with an RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And Don is dealing right now, folks. 1 down. He's going to pitch hit here for Hobby. And I believe Ed Broshy's going to come off the bench and pitch hit. So 1 out and nobody on for Ed. He's batting .246 with 7 home runs and 31 RBIs. And that's going to be a ball 4, not what you wanted. So the go-ahead run walks down the first, folks, with 1 out. And Al Heist is up. Not who you want to see if you're a Braves fan. 2 for 3, 3 walks and a home run. And that ball is well hit. I said you didn't want to see Al up here with a runner on. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. And they're going to stop Ed down at third, folks. So it's going to be second and third with, 1 out. Braves bring the infield in. Here's Don Zimmer. He's 1 for 6, folks. Here's the pitch from Don Notebert. And that's not what you want to see. That's going to be a fly ball in the center field, but it's deep enough to score Ed. And that'll give the Cubbies a 1-run lead here, folks. And Heist is going to tag up also at second. So we're going to have a runner down at third. 2 outs now. Cubs with a 1-run lead here in the 12th. And that'll bring up Ron Santo. He's 2 for 6. And that'll end the inning. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. Sorry, that's going to be a pop-up down the short. And that'll end the inning. But the Cubbies score 1. Take a 5-4 lead, folks. And they're going to have Don Elston come out of the bullpen to try to save this game. He'll be facing the bottom part of the order, McMillan, Jones, and then a pitch hitter if need be. The Braves can't win this game before that with the first 2 batters. Don Elston with a 4.5 ERA. He's 3-3 on the year, folks. He has 3 saves. Here's McMillan, 1 for 5. See if he can get on here, folks, against Elston. And nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. A big out number 1 for Elston. 1 down here in the 12th. Here comes Mac the Knife Jones. He's 1 for 1, a stolen base here today, folks. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Billy Williams makes the catch. And the Braves are down to their last out. Here comes the pitch hitter up. And I think they're going to bring in Boyd. See if he can blast one out of here. Old Bob Boyd's going to come in here to pitch hit for Notebert. Last lefty on the bench. And And Bob is batting .333 on the year, folks, with 4 hits, 1 RBI. And that ball is hit down the second. Zimmer muffs this ball to where and back. That's going to be an E4, and the Braves still got life, folks. How about that? That brings up Frank Bowen now with Boyd down at first. Let's see here. Do we got a pitcher with any speed at all? We might pitch hit with a pitcher. I hate to waste a batter if we tie this game up. So now we're going to let Bob run. So here's Frank Bowen, 1 for 6, folks. Can he do this? Can Larry at least keep this game alive? And no, he can't. That is popped up straight up the chute. Dick Bertel's waiting for it to come down, folks. And that's your ball games. The Cubs win 5-4. Let's take a look at this box score, folks. The Braves had their chances and couldn't deliver. See what the star here is. The Braves had 4 errors. The Cubs left 16 runners on, and the Braves left 16 runners on. So both teams had a chance to blow this game open and didn't. The Cubbies 5 runs on 12 hits and 2 errors. And like we said, the Braves 4 runs on 11 hits and 4 errors. Al Heist was the man, folks. 3 for 4. An RBI, scored twice. You had Ron Santo 2 for 7. The Cubbies was only 3 for 18 with runners in scoring position. Al Heist with a home run and a double. Like we said, the Cubbies left 16 on. You had Eddie Matthews, wasted a nice game by Matthews, 3 for 4, but the problem was the 3 for 4, he had no RBIs, folks. Frank Thomas, 1 for 3, walked 3 times, had that big 3-run homer. And the Braves were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And like we said, they also left 16 men on base. CARDWILL, 7 innings, 8 runs, 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 5, and gave up the home run. Schultz comes in, pitches 2 innings, gives up the tying run in the 9th, and walked 3. Glenn comes in, pitches 2 innings, and gets the win. He's 9-12 on the year, folks. Gave up 1 hit and walked 2. And Elston comes in, gets his 4th save of the year. Pitches 1 inning and strikes 1 out. Bob Henley goes 6 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of them earned, walked 4, struck out 4, and gave up the home run, the Heist. Oh, Tony comes in, he pitches 1 1/3, gives up a hit, a walk, strikes out 3. And Johnny Antonelli comes in, pitches 2 innings, gives up 2 hits, and strikes out 1. Poor Don Noper comes in, gets the loss. He falls to 6 5, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 2. Yeah, and it didn't go 21 innings. I thought after the Braves got some runners on, we was going to have a marathon, and I was already out of pitchers for the Braves. Well, I had McMahon that could come in, but I mean, he's a short reliever. Let's do some fast play here in the National League. We got the Cardinals going out to California to take on the Dodgers. And the Cardinals win big. 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The Dodgers 2 runs on 2 hits. So they made the most of the hits, and 1 error. Let's check out what 2 hits they got. Was one of them a 2-run homer? No home run. Let's see how they scored that runs. They had a 2-0 lead, folks. Had a 2 walks and an RBI, 2 RBI single. How about that? How about that? Got all those runs in the first, and the Cardinals was 6 unanswered. Got the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Phillies traveling to Pittsburgh. See who wins the Battle of PA. You seen that coming too? That's what I thought was going to happen. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. And the Phillies win big in Pittsburgh. 7 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. The Pirates 1 run on 5 hits and no errors. And the last game on August 12th is the Reds going to San Francisco to take on the Giants, a battle for second place. And the Giants win. The Reds 4 runs on 9 hits and no errors. The Giants 7 runs on 10 hits and an error. Let's take a look at the standings here, folks. And the Giants are within 1 game now. The Reds are still 6.5 games back. Cardinals are 9.5 games back. Dodgers are 11. The Cubbies get to within 12. Pirates are 14. And the Phillies are 26 games back. You got Roberto Clemente with a 361 average leading the National League and the major leagues. Mays with 31 home runs. And his teammate with 95 RBIs in Cepeda. Warren Spahn leading with a 2.53 ERA. You got Jim O'Toole with 13 wins and Don with 26 saves on the year for the Braves. Cepeda still leading in the MVP voting, and Jim O'Toole right now is leading in the Cy Young. I want to thank Tim D for stopping by, and ID Gesture. Check out his great channel. He's been doing some baseball here lately, folks. I think he just did a 2018 Braves game, so check that out. And of course, ID does his other board games and war games. Check that channel out. Alrighty, folks. You all have a great afternoon. Until next time, you all take care.